everyone, this is Bob Martin, the RC Sub Guy with the NautilusDryDocks.com, and today I wanted to give you a little bit of a blast from the past, and we're going to be looking at a now out of production torpedo kit in 1/72nd scale. And this was put out by a gentleman by the name of David Merriman III, an exceptionally talented individual who is unfortunately no longer producing these little torpedo kits. But regardless, I thought it would be cool to show you what they look like, how they work, so that if you are up for the task, you can try and fabricate a set of these weapons for your own boat. So let's take a look what these things look like. All right, here is the kit as you would have gotten it if you purchased these kits back from Caswell Plating in the day. And this is comes in a little package like this with some instructions. I went back in and I downloaded the other instructions that came with it. Beautiful little kit. So this is 1/72nd scale, and these are ideal for the Revell of Germany models. So that's like the Type 7, the Type 9, the Gato boats. These would all use this scale of weapon. And as you can see, these are like, I'm gonna guess like 1/4 of an inch by 3 inches in size. Absolutely beautiful little weapons. You can see they've got canted fins on the back there. I'm gonna see if I can get my camera to focus. There we go. Canted fins. And the idea behind these are gas propelled torpedoes. They utilize airbrush propellant and it ejects the gas out that little nozzle in the back. And as it does, due to the setup here, the entire weapon would end up spinning about its axis. And the idea is that this would give you a straighter run overall. This is the launching mechanism, and just by looking at this, you can tell that there is just a massive amount of work that goes into these things. Tons of fabrication and engineering that goes into it. These kits were offered in 2 different variations, and they come with the parts for either. As it comes configured, it's actually set up for manual firing. And the way that works is absolutely brilliant. So you push the breech in, pull the stop back, and that locks it in place. So this is now in effect a trigger right here. And to fire the weapon, this is simply depressed. The breech pulls back, the seal gets pulled off of the weapon, and it ejects itself utilizing gas pressure. In this configuration, you can certainly have 2 tubes, and the idea with the servo arm is that you would have 2 tubes, and if you move the servo in one direction, it would fire the left-hand weapon, and if you move it in the other, it would fire the right-hand weapon. So it gives you control over 2 tubes with a single servo. Pretty slick situation. I want to show you how the other neat thing about this is the safety mechanism that's in place, and this is a ball in there. When the breech is closed, that ball is locked in place in the front with that retaining pin, and that means that weapon, no matter what, cannot eject itself from the tube. When the weapon fires, that pin is released, the ball can move upward, and the weapon can shoot out. So just another little safety measure in place to make sure that there are no inadvertent firings of this weapon. All right, let's take a look at how this works in practical application. So we're going to load up the weapon. The breech is open in there. Insert the weapon, use this little tool to press it back onto the seal. And then we're going to press that breech forward, pull out the trigger, and it's locked in place. So we've got a weapon in there, but it's completely dead. It is not charged, so there's no way for it to fire at this particular point. And then what you would end up doing, and I'm going to get some gloves because That is cold stuff. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab the valve on the back of the weapon. I'm going to use this airbrush propellant right here. And I'm going to charge it up. So, weapon is fully charged right now. There's no leaks. I can't hear any escaping air. And if we just point this off in the distance there, if I push that trigger down, you should, in theory, see the weapon eject itself. There you go. That was a very energetic launch. That was pretty cool. So now that we've done that on the workbench, let's go out to the pool and we'll fire that sucker off under the water so we can see what it looks like when it actually works in the environment that it's supposed to. So hopefully I managed to catch that on camera. I'll not know for sure until I upload the video, but there are some drawbacks to gas-powered torpedoes, and for those of you that have experience with them, you are well aware of them. The biggest thing is that they tend to be very erratic in their path. At the initial burst, as they come out, they're at the highest compression of that gas, and they do end up liking to breach out of the water. And when they get up out of the water, they can flip around and enter the water at a different angle. If you don't get that nozzle size correct, by the way, you will have not a torpedo but a rocket. And don't ask me how I know. The other thing about that is that the thrust of that torpedo varies throughout its travel. It's very high at the outset and it's very low at the end. So there are some benefits and some drawbacks. The benefits, of course, is that it's a very simple system. It's basically a hollow tube with a valve off the end. You seal that off, charge it up, fire it, and away it goes. It takes a lot of tweaking to get it working reliably, and also in a manner that is accurate. So it's doable, but it's going to take a lot of work. These systems are just cool. Gas-powered torpedoes, of course, fire off those little trails of bubbles that you could see in the video. It makes for a pretty entertaining launch every time that they go. So I hope you liked that launch video, gave you a little bit of an idea what to expect when you shoot these little suckers off. So thanks again for joining me again. This is Bob Martin, the RC Sub Guy with the NautilusDryDocks.com. If you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. My email address is bob@rc-sub.com. If you go on my website, there's lots of places in there where you can knock out a message to me directly from the website. I would love to hear from you. Thanks again for joining me. We will catch you guys next time.